We got ourselves Team Russia with Bacha. We got ourselves Go. We got ourselves Krager going up first. We got ourselves Nomova. And we got ourselves Yasha versus Azure Mist. We got ourselves La coming back in with Mercury in the back. We got ourselves Reptiles, and Treff is going up first versus Krager the Warrior. Treff getting himself an opener. Bleeds are going to be up and running, but Krager playing that really a gladiator style Stormbolt hitting Fury Warrior might be quite rough. Turning around a bit of a reflect onto Treff through the Thorns. Having to force out a first wall out of the Druid actually with that reflect. So that's going to be quite big. Treff has got himself Berserking going. Not an Incarnation playstyle for him. Just got to go for a Berserk. Berserk is, I think, is a better playstyle if you want to maintain yourself on top of the player. Always hitting that shred back to back. You know what I mean? Just trying to pound him with as many abilities in terms of damage as possible. Just more sustained focused playstyle, but I could be wrong. I know Incarn is also a similar way, but I don't really know what the difference might be. I think both of them are just about the same, except just Incarn is stronger, but you get an extra passive. But Incarn is stronger, but it's a long cooldown. Berserker might be stronger, but you get a basic passive that can be used outside of your Berserk. But it's going to be a bit of a duel with these two, as we got ourselves a pretty healy Thorns coming out for Treff right now with a Reflect available for Krager. Actually turning those Thorns around with damage onto Treff quite a bit. Actually just hitting himself. Oh my god! What? That Thorns Reflect was so perfect for Krager! What was that damage? Treff was just so confused and surprised by that touch that coming down to the Warrior. With a Malatiphora for Azure Mist. Krager is just going to have to take that damage to the face. Good thing he got that Underrod Trinket, but he's already setting a standard. We just saw this man for just 1 second. He's going back and just obliterating a Feral Druid. He just left. The Feral left. I don't like you guys leaving. I kind of want you guys all to stay. Don't be embarrassed. This was all for fun. Treff, we miss you, buddy. We already missed you. Azure Mist, though, taking just quite a bit of a damage from this Warrior. Just cannot get away from the guy. And now Krager does have this Azeroth thing that is shooting to other people. Nothing we can do about it. It does a little bit of damage to AoE, but it shouldn't be too much in order to make, like, you know, the rest of the team take incredible amount of damage. It's really not that good of an Azeroth piece of gear. I think the second Azeroth gear that Krager has in that set probably is, like, better for him. Actually, we had another Fury Warrior that had the same piece of gear with that same effect. Maybe that's against rogues. Maybe that's a way to deal with rogues, because it will hit stealthies near you. With a nice stealth. But I guess we'll see. Azure Mist, though, is going to just try to see if he can kite away from Krager for just a minute here. 2 minutes in, almost 3 minutes into this duel, Azure Mist is not doing all that good. Playing defense is still holding on to Karma. And he's trying to see if he can save for a trinket, save for some defensive, so he can really just all in onto Krager. But Stormbolt turns it around. Azure Mist dipping down low enough in health, but he just doesn't want to take too much more damage. Krager making sure to stay next to Azure Mist, making sure he doesn't run away too far. Might just have to Blaze Storm into the Ring of Peace. Everybody on Team Red better move. Nothing Krager can do by the Ring of Peace. He needs to get the damage on Azure Mist, but being a monk, the mobility for Azure Mist might be his only upper hand here. He's trying to get himself some images with the Fist of Fury onto Krager. 2 of the images actually getting caught away from Krager, so Azure Mist probably should have waited with those images until Krager jumped down. Whirling Dragon Punch with a touch of that right now. Krager gonna take quite a bit of damage. Stormbolt coming out onto Azure Mist, trying to min-max the damage while he is sitting there with that touch of that, tricking it out of that leg sweep. Trying to intercept Azure Mist. Is going to be a port for Azure. Leap coming out from Krager. Trying to get a slow into Azure Mist. Is going to be able to catch up to him. Azure Mist. Get himself 1v5. Crucible to follow from Krager right after. Took the touch of death, dude. And he's just continuing to try. He just keeps on going. While coming out for Azure Mist with Diffuse or Dampen Harm. Sending a Maledict at Krager right now. Krager is just going to have to go for a little bit more self-heal here again with that Maledict. Could actually pop a Reflect and reflect a tick of that Mali back to Azure Mist, actually. He does know that, right? Like, he doesn't need to reflect the original Mali, the actual, like, effect. Every time he refreshes, he can actually pop a Reflect Shield, and that next refresh will actually just appear on Azure Mist instead. So if he is able to line it up properly, he might be able to use that to his advantage. Gonna be a Stormbolt on Azure Mist, he gets out of it immediately. And it's still just running, man. That's all he can do against this real man of a warrior. Krager just needs to get himself a lineup with a good Stormbolt. with Azure not having Karma or any other defensive. And he might be able to do something. Fist of Fury coming out, he's just going to walk out away from it immediately. Punish Azure with Crucible since he can't hit him. And Elixir comes out, but Azure playing super defensive with Elixir, man. He can't even do anything against the Warrior. Krager leaping back up on top of the platform. Stormbolt onto Jurmis. Does get a charge onto him. Might be enough damage here. Could get him close to the execute range. Jurmis does go for a port, but he doesn't take it far at all. That's going to be a slow by Krager immediately with a Ring of Peace right after hitting him with a Crucible to follow. Jurmis still able to maintain himself, but dampening finally kicking in. Azure Mist, you're on borrowed time. Your healing has been able to maintain you, but hasn't let you recover completely. With dampening kicking in higher, this is going to make it harder and harder, my friend. Karma coming out for Azure. He's trying to get some damage to clap up onto Krager. But Krager just running circles around the guy. Stormbolt slamming him down. Does he have the big damage? He has cooldowns rolling too. Sage Trick and Procket for Azure. He landing that Fist of Fury to parry down Kragar at the very last second. Does get that intercept. Azure does not have any mobility. Does he have another port available? Execute comes out and down he goes. The next is going to be Melkree as a Feral Druid. Up next versus Kragar. Hopefully he plays a little bit more carefully than the last Feral Druid that played. Kragar's just continuing to get offensive there, man. What kind of build does he run? Does he play full versatility? That's going to be Thorns are up and running for the Melkree, but those Thorns are getting reflected back into him. That's probably the worst move possible. Oh my goodness, into a Stormbolt. Melkree trinkets out of it. Oh my god, Kragar does also have Warlocks on his team. That's Warlock Hellstone available for him. So maybe that's one of his advantages, the fact that he's running with a Warlock Hellstone. If you're trying to question how good and how well this man, how does he do it? Mercury tried to see if he can kite Kragar around the corner, generating calm points and maintaining his bleeds on him. Kragar is just not letting him go. Not letting him go anywhere, but looks like Mercury is going to be able to escape out of it, being a Feral Druid and all. Using Crucible defensively though. He does have bleeds on the Kragar, as we're seeing from Mercury. The procs of Azeroth spikes are attacking Kragar. Try to go for a leap around the boxes. Looks like he's not going to be able to do it. Does get a Stormbolt onto Mercury. Doesn't have the opener with a Blaze Storm. And he's waiting for that Thorns. Anytime. Stun coming out onto Kragar. Mercury trying to min-max the damage, trying to make sure the bleeds are reset onto Kragar. And he's actually going to go for Crucible self-heal yet again, as Mercury is not looking all that good right now. But he's trying to survive. He's trying to use that extra mobility he has as a Feral just to be able to live through by kiting around the Warrior for quite a bit. Kragar forcing the Feral away from the pillar for just a second. Mercury really wants to get back to the pillar. And does he do that? He does. Mercury just hanging out in the pillar, using that out to his advantage as best as possible. This is going to give you guys a bit of an aerial view here of what's going on with this ring around the rosy. Mercury just trying not to fall behind in this duel, man. He has to be playing that pillar. And that's going to be a Stormbolt onto Mercury in just a second by Kragar, who got some cooldowns rolling. If he's able to maintain the pressure, huge Stormbolt damage. That's going to be a big defense coming out for Mercury. Does get himself huge heals. Wall available. He might have to wall this. Bash coming out. Kragar trinkets out of it and lands an execute. Mercury didn't even go for Thorns. He didn't want to put himself that behind. Reptiles being a marksman hunter gets a Crucible hit onto Kragar with an aim shot, double smack with another aim shot right after him, and a rapid fire to follow into a scatter and another Crucible. By the way, I actually watched a marksman gladiator hunter play some marksman in arenas. Reflect onto the Reptiles with a freezer trap. Kragar should have an easy time here, but Reptiles is still trying to make marksman hunter work. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to, but there is a hunter on NA that plays marksman to like gladiator. I actually made a video this morning about marksman being a meme, and I did look that guy up, and I did watch the stream. He's actually really good at marksman. It's not that great of a spec in PvP, but he can make it work. You can do something about it. This is a damage so inconsistent with that spec. You know what I mean? But Reptile is super behind now with a turtle shell. No way of self-heal. Might have the hardest time, and that's going to be reflected on the freezer trap into a Stormbolt. Kragar is just not giving everybody a chance here. Into a charge, interrupt onto Laz and trying to finally get some shadow damage in on him. Horror effect coming out. Kragar remembers last Christmas. The horrors of last Christmas. That's where the horror effect comes from. And a mind control to follow as he kills the mind bender. Oh, Shadow Fiend? No, not mind bender. It has to be Shadow Fiend, right? The mind bender was a little technically thing. Reflect coming out for Kragar as La got himself some cooldowns rolling. Gonna be a little bit of a necrotic actually onto La. It looks like he sent a Mali onto Kragar, and Kragar did reflect one of the ticks of that Maledect back to La. So that looks like that's exactly what happened. Greater Fate coming out for Lai, trying to get himself Shadow Mans. No interrupt available for Kragar for a second. Mind control coming out by up. There's going to be a Blaze Storm by Kragar to maintain himself out of CC. 9 minutes and 28% dampening. La having to go for a Disperse right now. And does reflect the stun back onto himself. Krager is so perfect with his reflex, man. Stormbolt right after. Double stun onto La. Doesn't have any more defenses. Looking like he's ready for the execute. And down it goes. Krager just obliterating the whole enemy team. Decimating them. Oh my god. So much damage. Not even enough healing needed. Woo. God damn, boy. Oh, German's does so much healing though. And so did Milkree. Unlucky, boys. Unlucky. Man, that's a warrior right there. Bro, that's a warrior right there.